Up, everyone? It's your girl Gelbeauty-QM here, aka Grace, and it's time for another indie brands it's time for another palette recreations, me versus indie brands who did it better. So in today's episode, I have the Rosy Jingle palette from Oden up alongside my Sailor Moon palette. If you all remember, I recreated my Sailor Moon palette and it came out looking really similar to Rosy Jingle. So I figured we could compare them side by side today, and you all can tell me which eye look you prefer. So if you like videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I do a ton of eyeshadow content. I do Battle of the Palette. I do this series. I did another series called Eyeshadow Versus I'm thinking about bringing back. And I do, of course, my Why You Don't Needs that everybody loves so much, in addition to reviewing new eyeshadow palettes every now and again. If you like a good fragrance video, this is also the place for you. You all know I recently did a fragrance series of Lemon Gourmand fragrances that I felt duped out higher end fragrances in my collection, in addition to doing a few new fragrance reviews. Like I recently did Octavia Morgan LA that just showed up at Ulta. It's the first black owned Ulta brand, or Ulta fragrance. It's the first black owned fragrance brand in Ulta stores. That's what I meant to say. And then I did the numerology collection from Lake and Skye, and they have a new fragrance coming out, which I'm excited about. And then I've also done the Nosy Body Mist. And of course, y'all know I had to do the Snif Sweet Tooth fragrance and Snif Spray Tan. You can use code GRACE10 to check out to purchase anything you need from Snif. Finally, if you like a good fashion video, if you wonder where all my fashion shorts went, they went over to my fashion channel. It's Fashion with Gelbeauty-QM. So make sure you head on over there and check that out. If you like my shorts, that's where they went. I also do a long form fashion video every Friday for those who are interested in my thought process behind compiling my outfits together, because a lot of people got mad at the shorts because you couldn't hear what I was saying. So you get a more in-depth experience into how I pick what I pick. Plus I do lots of polls over there when it comes to fashion to let me know what you all would be interested in and seeing for fashion videos in the future. So you kind of help me with the creative process by answering the polls. If you're interested, make sure you head on over there. Again, it's Fashion with Gelbeauty-QM. And now we will get into this video. So I'm gonna go off camera. I have to swatch the colors to have them match up and see which ones we're going to do. Then I will do each eye on camera, and then you can tell me which look you prefer. So I'll be right back. Okay, girl? Okay, y'all. So I got 2 sets of similar eyeshadow brushes, so that way everything applies the same, because everything is pretty much using the same brush. So I'm going to start off with the Oden palette. So here are the shades I chose. So I chose this one, this one, this one, and I swatched these two to see which one would look most similar to the purple that I have. Neither one of them is close, but I think I'm just gonna go with like the darker purple, if you will. And then we have my palette. So I chose this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade, because there's like a pink undertone to the yellow in there. So I combine these two together to get that same effect, and then we just use this purple. So that's what we're using for this look. None of the other purples, like I said, match, so I'm improvising what I have. So like I said, I'm gonna start off with Oden's Eye. I realized I didn't show you all the palettes early on, my bad. So I guess I should show them side by side really quickly. So this is what they look like side by side. When it comes to color story, as you can see, they're not exact, but I feel like this one has more brighter pinks in it than the one I created does, but you know, I feel like the way it looks. So I'm just taking this toward the top of the eye, and then I'm gonna go ahead and have in the inner corner and the outer V the like weird purplish shade. I just needed this to be like shade that sets the top of the eye, basically, since I always take my eyeshadow prime up to underneath my eyebrow. I'm trying to make sure all that is set down with this shade. I wish this shade had a little more like color to it. I feel like it's an awfully really light, like nudish, paley, peachy pink that doesn't necessarily vibe with my skin tone the best, but you know, I just needed a transition shade, and this was the only one I had to choose from, so this is what I had to work with. I like the one in my palette better because, I don't know, I feel like peachy tones and pink tones go together well, and that orangish peachy tone is like matches my skin tone better for someone with my skin tone. So let's take my shade now from the Colourpop palette. These are like Bretman Rock old brushes from when we did the Wet n Wild collection. I thought they were pretty nice though, so I held on to them. as you can see, this one, I don't know, I just feel like it goes to my skin tone a little bit better, and it doesn't look as ashy as that one does. Maybe it's just me, but in my mind that one looks ashy, and I prefer it not to. So this is the first time I had to use 2 different sets of the same brush in a really long time. I used to do a whole bunch of those videos to the point where like my brushes are auctioned off or set off in the way of like whichever 2 match, I have them set up so that way when I have to do videos like this, I can just grab and go. So that was definitely helpful for right now, because I literally just grabbed them out of the corner and was like, yes, we have it ready. I am ready. And kind of went from there. So, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this one just matches and meshes with my skin a little better. I feel like this one is very obvious and kind of ashy. So one of the reasons I wanted to like make it myself. Okay, so next let's get into the back end. So I'm going to take the purple, and this purple is going to be lighter than the one from the palette I created. Again, which is another reason I created it, because I'm like, I wanted to, if I want to use a shade on the outer V, I wanted it to be like kind of deeper but still be like a fun and unique color. And I like the colors of this palette because I feel like it's unique. I feel like if Princess Peach had to create an eyeshadow palette, I feel like she would make a palette that looks like this. That's why I was confused why they were calling it like Sailor Moon with the shades that they had chosen, because I felt like Sailor Moon were red and blue and, you know, had yellow, and it's like none of that accented the Sailor Moon palette. So I was like, to me it didn't really scream Sailor Moon to begin with, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna make it what I think will look best for someone my skin tone, and it happened to match this palette. So that's how we got to make this video. So I was thinking about taking this in the inner corner too. I think I still am, but because this one is so much lighter than the other one, these are about to look real crazy. I just know it. They're about to look real crazy. See, because this looks so chalky and ashy. But I have to match it with the tones that are in that palette, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and take it to the front now as well. And since we don't have an inner corner shade, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the brush that since we don't have a crease shade, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the brush I would normally use for the crease shade to put it in the front of the eye, and then we'll move on to the Sailor Moon eye. Y'all, did y'all see my community tab post on how like Philosophy just blatantly just was like, we want to look like Fleur, so we just gonna use the same packaging. I feel like it's like the blush situation with Hourglass all over again, because didn't they steal Danessa Myricks packaging when it came to the what do you call that thing, the her primer, like the liquid version of the Yummy Blur primer. Like everybody was clowning them, saying that they stole it from Danessa Myricks and all that, and I'm like, I can understand them feeling that way because she's like the first brand owner you saw with it. But, you know, like, if she didn't own the rights to the packaging, then it's kind of like they didn't really steal anything. But I understood people's frustration and irritation, and I was low-key feeling that way, too. Like, ain't this nothing? Y'all don't want to cater to the brown people, but then you want to steal the ideas that the brown people are using. Ain't that nothing? Because that was my thought process behind it, but you can let me know what y'all thought. I know that happened, like, a while ago, but seeing that Philosophy packaging is just brought back, like, the memories of when everybody was like, they copied off Danessa Myricks. Or her packaging. And theirs isn't like exact, like with the one from Hourglass, like it was exact, you know, like it's the exact same component with just a different color than the one that she chose, because obviously she chose the one that matched her branding of her other products. But like with that one, it was just like, oh, these are pretty even. I feel like this one is still a little bit deeper than the one on the Oden side. You can comment and let me know if you think it is or not, but I feel like in my mind, it's just a little bit deeper. Maybe because it looks a little bit deeper in the pan. That's why I think it's a little bit deeper. But I don't know. It just gives a little bit more depth to me than that one does. But either one of them aren't ideal for like this outer V type of thing for someone my skin tone. In my personal opinion, I would usually prefer to just put this all over the lid. But I'm trying to be experimental and give you all some different looks as opposed to what I always do, which would have been like a dark shade on the outer V. Not to mention, there wasn't really a dark shade to pick for the outer V for this, and I didn't want to like use a shimmer on the outer V, so we're working with without that. But yeah, so with the Philosophy one, like I was saying, I don't feel like that one is like a blatant just like it's the exact same packaging. The bottles are taller, the bottles are thinner, they just happen to have the same top, and it's not like they went and used the exact same font as them either to like try to make it clear that that's what they were doing or something like that. So I don't feel like it's as bad as with the Hourglass one. I'm wondering if they did that to spark like controversy or whatnot, because I feel like it's like you knew somebody's gonna say something, especially because you know you don't really cater to the certain markets, and then like the market that person usually caters to. Even though I feel like Natasha Denona does a great job of catering to all markets, it's just like I feel like she makes sure that the people look like her have products too, and I feel like Hourglass doesn't do that. So I'm like, did you do that just to get a ruckus in the market and get people to like buy it and try it out, and that was your way of like rage baiting people? Because we all know you don't really cater to the community that looks like me as much as you do to others. I don't know. I'm not trying to say that's what they were doing, but like, you know, I just find it convenient that out of all the packaging you could chose, you chose that one, and it was one that a black owned brand used that you know, whatever. I'm not gonna get into it too much more, but like, yeah, y'all, I just anyway, is anybody gonna try the Philosophy ones? Because I've never tried anything from Philosophy. I know, Dawn, you told me that you use the I think, wasn't it like something called Fresh Cashmere or something? I've never tried anything from them, so I don't know anything about the brand. But I'm like, you know, I just knew them selling like body care stuff, because I'd see their like body care stuff in you know, TJ Maxx and Marshalls or whatever. But I've never like gone to or thought to use Philosophy for anything. So I think she told me it smelled like caramel. I have to go read that message again, but I swore you said it smelled like caramel, Donna. You know, that sounds like something I would like. And they have a pistachio one, and I'm not gonna front, I'm interested in the pistachio one, perhaps, just because I feel like, you know, y'all know I love pistachio, and I want to see how it compares to other stuff. But I'm like, I don't even know where you buy Philosophy. Does that mean like I have no clue where you buy Philosophy? Take this brush now. And I'm going to take that purple shade right here, because I swatched both of them, so I figured I should show you. Wait, no, I'm sorry. We're supposed to be doing this shade on the lid. So I'm going to do this shade on the lid, and then this is going to be our inner corner shade to go over this to give it some more power and effect, because I feel like it's not giving that much. Anyway. But yeah, so I don't even know where you can buy Philosophy. Like, maybe I guess I can go in Macy's or something. I just genuinely don't know where you buy Philosophy, because I've never really, like, check for them, and I don't mean that like in a rude way. It's just like, I don't know, they haven't shown, or I haven't seen anything from them that's like appealing enough to me. I don't know if it's the simplicity of their packaging, or like there's not enough hype behind their products. And you have to think, as a content creator, I have to look at stuff for hype in addition to stuff I actually like. And since Philosophy wasn't appealing to me, and then there's like no real hype behind it for me to like be picking it up to talk to you all about it, at least for my audience. Maybe you all watch other people use Philosophy and I'm just missing out. I don't know. But like, because I don't feel like I feel that from you all or get that from you all, I don't feel the need to go out and, you know, like buy it. So maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to take glitter glue now and go to the other side of the eye. So I just thought that was really interesting, and I had to share with you all. And I was just like, yeah, somebody tell me. I know just Jim told me, she, like, based upon the packaging, she thought that they had. And I'm like, yeah, I thought they'd had too, not as badly as Hourglass like we just talked about, but I'm like, I do feel like it was definitely inspired by Fleur. Oh, did you all see Fleur just got bought by, so I must have to start off with this pink right here, and then we're gonna have to put this on top like I talked about. But like, did you see that Fleur finally got acquired by somebody? She said after 4 years, because I follow the owner on Instagram, she said after 4 years of her hard work, somebody finally acquired her brand. I forgot who acquired the brand, but I was very excited for her, because I'm sure, you know, that would take some of the work and labor off of her, because she has a brand now. Now my whole thing is, I don't know if she's keeping creative, is she still going to be the creator as far as like making the fragrances or whatnot, like the scents. I don't remember the exact term for that, but like, I'm wondering if she's going to keep creative control. That's what it is. If she's going to keep creative control, or if somebody else is going to be in charge of that, because I am genuinely curious about that. So we're putting this on top now to give that same effect that you get on the other side. It's not going to be exact, obviously, but I feel like it could be close enough, or we could, like, you know, work with what we had and make it, you know, somewhat similar. I feel like more pink is coming through on this side, but that's because I literally had to put pink down before I put this on. When with that one, it's just like glimpses when you turn your head. So that's just something you have to keep in mind with this. So this wasn't as similar as I thought it was going to be, although the mattes did turn out pretty similar in spite of what I thought it was going to be. But when it comes to the shimmers, obviously I like the shimmers in the Oden's Eye palette better than I like the shimmers in my palette, just because they're reflective and unique. But otherwise, I would say I pretty much like my palette pretty well. We're going to take that purple shade I just showed you on now. Put that in my inner corner. Just because I want some purple and sparkle and excitement, and I don't feel like I got that from this per se because this purple is so light. But once it oxidizes, I feel like they oxidize and look about the same, which is great. Ooh, y'all, this brush is very scratchy when it comes to putting the inner corner shades in. This is like an e.l.f. dual ended brush, and it's scratching the crap out of my inner corner as I still continue to put it on because beauty is pain. No, I think I might want to use a pink eyeliner. I don't know, but I might just end up using the yellow one because I don't know if my pink one here has run out or not. So we'll have to see. Let's go in with the deep purple shade now in my Sailor Moon palette. My first Sailor Moon palette. I have 2 Sailor Moon palettes, and I'm going to do a part 2 with the other Sailor Moon palettes. So, okay, y'all. So, this is the finished look. This is the Oden's Eye, and this is my eye. Let me back you on up, and we can talk about my thoughts and your thoughts. So, you can comment down below and tell me whose eye you like better. I like certain elements of my eye better than this one. Like, I like the tones I picked, but I picked tones that would work for a deeper skin tone. Like, I feel like this one is a little bit deeper, and I like that better. I like this transition shade because I feel like it doesn't look ashy on me the way this one does. I do like the shimmers in the Oden's Eye better, though. Like I said, I like the reflective uniqueness of those shimmers. But overall, I like my palette just fine. I just like this one a little bit more because of the shimmers that are in it and the fact that it has, like, nice different pops of pink in it to go with the other tones in here. I feel like make it a little more unique. And since this palette has a little less space, I have a little less space for some deeper tones to make for outer V shades. But that's just my thoughts. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe. My membership is down below if you like more exclusive content. Like, I have a whole lot more of eyeshadow looks you all have never seen, in addition to exclusive events I go to that my members get to follow along for the ride with me, and a monthly vlog. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.